Hello and welcome to the Brightside Learning Academy. And today we have an MBA with us, Joseph S. Sanchez. He's a business coach and has years and years of experience. And he is introducing to you his book, which is a free download for anybody who wants to keep it cool while you are being verbally confronted. He also will give you today a subscription to his blog. So we'd like to just show you really quick. All you have to do is go to Pen Men Media LLC, scroll down until you see the free book, and then just give us your name and your information, and we will send you instantly this great book. And so we want, without further ado, to start the webinar, and over to you, Joseph S. Sanchez. Joseph S. Sanchez?
Okay, you want me to start?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Joe Sanchez, and Elizabeth has given you my background. Uh, I basically have put out this book, Keeping It Cool, because of my years of being in business and just involved in many different endeavors. One of the uh, one of the things I see violated all the time is people don't always agree eye to eye. Sometimes the discussions and the lingering feelings are not positive. So, one of the things that people invariably resort to is shouting when we get excited. We raise our voice. I guess the adrenaline takes over, and that is not always the best way to do things. It's the equivalent of using a bucket of gasoline to douse a fire, to make things worse. Like any endeavor, you always do better when you have a plan. Doesn't have to be sophisticated, but you can't freelance it, as I like to say. Whether it's investing in stocks or anything else, writing a book or making a presentation, you have to have an idea, a game plan. And again, so what I'm trying to do is give you some pointers that could only help you. And please keep in mind, these things don't happen overnight. It's a constant process. One of the things you have to know is your weaknesses. We all have them. Nobody's perfect. So we have to know whether it's a certain person that you have to deal with that you haven't seen eye to eye, or personality traits that the person has you're talking to that will basically make you angry. You have to be aware of these things and you have to plan for them to be able to stay cool. A simple thing as deep breathing and slowing your pace as far as when you respond. These are things that'll help out. Uh, Another thing we all have, whether we realize it or not, is invisible shields. And these are things that really are sacred with us in discussing. For instance, one person may not like talking about their personal life. It's not necessarily that they've done anything wrong. They just don't feel that others should know a lot about them, their personal. And that's fine. You have to honor that. So by violating that, you get the person maybe in a defensive mode. And I've seen that happen. When somebody purposely doesn't talk about something, it means. Uh, Another important factor, very important, is what a lot of us are not real good at, is active listening. What does that mean? It means that you actually pay attention to what the person is saying. Take your cell phone and put it in your pocket. Don't look around. Don't engage in conversations with someone else. Look at your party directly in their eye and in your own mind, silently summarize what you just heard. You want to make sure. And if something isn't right or you don't understand, don't be afraid after they finish their point to ask, can you please clarify what you meant by so and so? You're not going to always agree with what somebody says, but you're courteous and you let them make their point. Uh, and again, a measured response. And basically, what that means, you're going to give really a diplomatic answer, if you will, uh, especially if you vastly disagree. Everybody has the right to their own opinion, and you have to respect that. So that's what I mean by a measured response. And then the art of disengagement. Major agreements are rarely reached on the first meeting or two. It takes several. So you have to realize, get to a point where sometimes you've been in an impasse. And the worst thing you could do is continue to hammer that person because you're only going to make it worse. You have to know when to walk away in good taste and hopefully pick it up at another time. It could well be that you might have to wait for somebody else to join the party since both of you are clashing and you're not getting anywhere. And that happens where somebody just doesn't want to give in to you. Uh, Cultivating inner peace in your soul sanctuary. And really, what that means again, you keep cool. You do breathing exercises. I'm big on meditating. I've been doing it for many years. I find that gives me peace and tranquility, and I do this every day. So things like this, the idea is to be calm. Nothing good happens when you're excited and you say things that you really haven't thought out. These are all important factors. And if you do this, you'll see how your agreements with people will be more fruitful and a little easier than it's been in the past. Again, this is an ongoing process. I knew a fellow a while ago that used to travel a lot, and he used to talk about negotiating. And he talked about an instance where he went into another city and he went into the lobby to check in, and they told him that his room was was basically taken. So he said to himself, let me negotiate, let me practice. So the end of the story is he started the process of negotiating, and he was able to get an upgraded hotel room for the same rate that he was going to pay anyway. The point is that he was always cultivating, always practicing the technique of negotiating. So that's what I'm telling you. Always practice. When something isn't as demanding that you must have, is ideal because we tend to get personal when things are personal. So again, download my free ebook, and I think if you review it a few times and make a note of it, that your ability to negotiate and reach agreements with people will be enhanced.
Thank you, Joe. Does anybody have any questions? Linda, we need to see you on video. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I have a comment.
Okay.
Joseph, thank you for doing your subject today.
Okay.
Um, and I will say that I'm learning the art of when to shut up, when to walk away, because I learned that it's sometimes it's not even worth it.
Yeah,
And a lot of times when people have their point of view, that whatever, you just let it be, in order to keep peace. And one of the
exactly.
things you said, the art of disengagement is knowing when to walk away. And so yes. Thank you.
You're right. You're right. You really have to come to the conclusion that this is not going anywhere. Let
Mm-mm.
us drop it, and maybe at that point, or down the line agree to meet again. Because again, I want to reiterate, a lot of agreements are not reached the first time around. You
Mhm.
know, yeah, they have to think about it, and hopefully you cool off and what have you. So yeah, you're right. You have to know when to back off.
Yes, and it's all about timing. Sometimes
Yes,
we can approach things at the wrong time, and that can just
absolutely.
blow up too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The guy could have just had a heated meeting with a boss or a customer. And I've seen that not a lot of people are able to cool off right away. So, but you would know this. You would
No,
know this.
yes,
Yeah, and Linda and I have talked about this often because she has a book, Speak Positivity, that once you say something, you can't take those words back.
That's
People
right.
will remember,
exactly.
they'll never forget what you said.
Oh,
So
please.
that's something that you want to. So, Sergeant Reginald, Staff Sergeant Reginald, tell us your hand. You've raised your hand.
Elizabeth, I'm just Reginald, and we know that. How you doing, Joe?
How you doing?
Thank you for sharing this. This is very well needed, and I'm glad that I listened to what you stated and what you articulated. Um, Situational awareness is important. Sometimes that discussion just won't go anywhere after a certain point, but the situational awareness needs to be both on the communicator as well as the receiver. And you bring that out and you illustrated that very expertly. And I appreciate you doing that. Thank you.
My pleasure.
So we hope you'll enjoy the book. It's a free download, and if you want to write us a review and tell us what you thought about it, I'm sure Joseph S. Sanchez will appreciate it. I just want to give a little sales pitch as well. His books are also available for sale. If anyone's watching the video on Penman Media, I think I can't do that right now. All right. Technology. But Joe has written, tell us about the books that you've written, and they're all available on Penman Media.
Well, the first book that well, actually, the first book was a while back, but the most recent, a year and a half, is called Soar Like an Eagle. And what that is 21 lessons, if you will, on parts of your life. It starts from your business, the workplace, exercise, diet, family relationships. I go into meditating, or I go into financial planning for your life and how to manage your finances. I've often said that even if you follow half or 25% of the suggestions in a book, your life will be enhanced. You'll be better. And I've gotten a lot of positive comments on that. And I think that anyone that reads that will gain from it. Then the second one was basically on schmoozing, the art of schmoozing. Uh, Again, we all tend to, we all deal with other people. And unless we live in a remote part of the country where we don't deal with people, and there are areas like that, you are going to interact with others. And again, knowing how to approach someone, knowing how to cultivate a relationship is important on a personal basis or on the job. Whether you're in a country club or whatever you are, the point is you're dealing with people. And I'm giving you some insights how you can maximize and grow from it. And then my third one was how to think. That is kind of self explanatory. Really, when we go to school, no matter how well educated you are, chances are that nothing was ever covered about how to think. Yes, in a way, but I'm hitting you direct with it. Factors that you should consider to make the best decision. Keep in mind, you never have all the pieces to the puzzle. So you might have to fill in some blanks, and you might have to draw on someone that has experience in it, or someone that you admire has made good choices. Again, as I said before, I give you a plan, if you will, even though I don't want to use that word, but I give you an idea how you should be thinking to make the best possible choice. And I'll make a plug for a book that's not out yet, but will be in a couple of weeks, and that's called How to Reinvent Yourself. We evolve as a person. Let's say after school, you work for 5, 10, 20 years, whatever. And sometimes way before that, and I've talked to people, I'll give an idea. Years ago, I spoke to a person that was a buyer at a major supermarket chain back here, and he studied music. So one time over lunch, we got into that, and I said, his name was Michael. I said, Michael, do you ever regret that you didn't follow on what you studied at school? He says, yeah, but I would never make the money that I'm making now as a buyer. And he was, very well paid. So it takes guts to walk away from something like this and take a pay cut, especially when you have a family. Another one, a fellow that I met who was highly trained and educated in computer science. And he left it all to go into acting, where he wasn't making a heck of a lot of money. So again, what does it take? It takes more than courage, especially when you have bills to pay, you have a family that you're raising, as he did. So you're always making these tough choices. And again, what I try to do in the book is give you pointers, factors you should consider to make a change. There's a school of thought that says every 7 years or so, you should change completely your direction. Now, I don't really agree with that because it could be radical. But I tell you, I remember talking to my wife years ago about this guy that went from computer science to being an actor. I mean, I just couldn't believe it, quite frankly. But I didn't have the passion that he had about acting. Again, I'm getting away from the point. The point is, in all my books, I always try to give direction, encouragement, and what to do, where to knock, how to consider something, and that just fly by seat of the pants. And again, I do have other books coming out. Again, all my books are meant to enhance the quality of life of people, as it says on my website. So I hope you would consider it.
There you have it. And don't forget, today is the day to get your free book download at penmanmediallc.com. And everything that Joseph Sanchez has told you about is available on the website. And thank you for watching. This is the first of the Brightside Learning Academy series, our webinar with Joseph S. Sanchez, and he's an MBA and has a decades of experience that is in his books as well as in the blog subscription that you will get every single week. And he's also a great person to follow on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and wherever there's social media. You should look him up and follow him for some great insights, videos, and regular updates. So thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to having you again on Discover Brightside, where we discover new things every day and we bring you new reviews, new books, new authors. And join us if you're an author to the Brightside Book Club and Speaker Channel, where we teach you everything that you need to do about how to market your book and how to speak. Thank you so much.